Within the past hour, deputies in Laurel County have charged a man with attempted murder after 2 people were shot.
Thunderstorms on the move across central and eastern Kentucky. We'll show you how that is a sign of things to come just ahead.
The statewide recanvass in the Democratic presidential primary is complete. The outcome showing no changes in the totals that were given last week.
This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon. Storms rolling across central Kentucky right now.
Heavy rain could cause some with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey, who is tracking it all for us on the Defender Radar Network. Chris?
Hi, guys. Getting in a lot of Twitter pics now of some standing water, ponding water on roads, leading to a few accidents across the Lexington area now. Those poor drainage areas are going to struggle for at least a short time as those heavy bursts of rain roll across the area. Keep in mind, we picked up better than an inch this morning already into parts of Lexington. Defender Radar Network is lining up with a weakening band of showers and thunderstorms. This is nothing severe that we are worried about. It's noisy and it's a ton of rain that is falling in some cases. Thunder and lightning across the Paris area, heading into Carlisle. Good folks there in Nicholas County. And on top of Lexington, heaviest band is now on the east side of town from Hamburg down toward the Jacobson Park area, Manowar Boulevard, down toward the Endover Village Drive area, getting in on some heavy downpours. Here's the scene out in front of the station right now. Look at the reduced visibility with the heavy rains that are coming on through here. Winds have been gusting up. We recorded a gust of close to 30 miles an hour here at the station just a little bit ago to the southwest of Lexington, Nicholasville, and toward the Bryant'sville area, Lancaster there into Garrett County. Thunderstorm begins to pick up the pace towards Stanford, and southward we go. Eubank into northern Pulaski County, the Waynesburg area, Science Hill into Pulaski County. And look at the scattering of thunderstorms out there. Watching that little storm on top of Monticello, it's out on its own. It developed ahead of that main line. It is putting down a ton of rain, so Wayne County, be on guard for some stream flooding over the next little bit. Behind that initial surge of showers and thunderstorms, look at all the oranges and reds pushing into central Kentucky. That means it's going to rain for at least the next hour and change. Future radar showing how we got to get until deep into the evening to start to see that band really beginning to decay across central and eastern Kentucky. And then, guys, it's still game on for the possibility of a scattered storm later tonight. Busy holiday weekend is around the corner, and we'll show you why what you see is what you get.
And we continue to track breaking news in Lexington. Emergency crews are right now shoring up a building after a van crashed into a Lexington business this afternoon.
That crash happened just before 4 at Guarantee Pest Control on East 7th Street. Monique Blair is live there with the breaking details. Monique?
Well, Amber and Sam, it was a close call here at the Guarantee Pest Control just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'm going to move out of the way so you can see that cleanup is very much underway right now. Lexington firefighters tell me employees of the auto repair shop across the street here were working on a van, and they had it up on support blocks. And then for unknown reason, that van's gears went into reverse, and it came off those blocks and then went into reverse across East 7th Street and then crashed into the pest control shop. Firefighters tell us nobody was inside that van, but there were employees inside the pest control building. In fact, there was a woman right in the front part of the building, but luckily she was not hurt. I did have a chance to talk to her, but she was very shaken and did not want to be on camera. She said it was a very scary moment, but nobody was hurt in the incident, and although the building is damaged, firefighters say the damage could have been worse.
Luckily, it's supported fairly well where the van hit it. We're going to go in and take some blocking and shore up underneath of it to hold it till he gets a contractor to fix it.
So it's not a total loss or anything?
Oh, no, it can be repaired.
Now again, firefighters say they are not exactly sure how those van's gears went into reverse, but they say at this time it does appear to have been an accident. Reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. A man has now been charged in connection to a shooting that sent 2 people to the hospital this afternoon.
28-year-old Landon Collins faces several charges, including attempted murder. Deputies say 1 person was shot in the head, a 2nd person shot in the stomach. Victor Puente has the latest on the investigation from Laurel County. It's our top story at 5.
Within the past hour, the Sheriff's Department has filed charges in this case. They say it was a domestic dispute that ended with 2 people being shot. It happened around 11 a.m. at a home on Locust Grove Road in the eastern part of Laurel County. Deputies say 28-year-old Landon Collins was at this home when the father of an ex-girlfriend of his and another man went to the home to confront him. They say that led to a fight, and Collins shot the other two men, sending both of them to the hospital. They say one was shot in the head, the other in the stomach. Collins then went outside of the mobile home and threw the gun on the ground, waited for sheriff's deputies to arrive. They've charged him with 2 counts of criminal attempt to commit murder, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, and receiving stolen property. Deputies say he's cooperating with their investigation.
Throw the gun out in the yard, and whenever our deputies rolled up on the scene, he was waiting for us at the road, so he wasn't trying to get away or anything.
Achardo said that home was being rented by the daughter of one of the 2 men who was shot. He said Collins sometimes stayed there. In Laurel County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Emergency crews had hoped to fly both victims by helicopter to UK Medical Center, but ended up taking them by ambulance because of storms in the area. The case against a Lexington man accused of killing his girlfriend is moving forward.
Lexington police say William Pomeroy admitted to killing his girlfriend last week, but he claims it was self-defense. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner has new details that we learned today in court.
It's been just shy of a week since police say William Pomeroy turned himself in.
While searching the residence, we received a phone call to the 911 dispatch center to the Lexington Police Department. And I received information that it was Mr. Pomeroy, identified himself as such, and said that the police were looking for him.
Police were looking for Pomeroy after his girlfriend and mother to his children, 43-year-old Amy Kogel, went missing. Kogel, a mother to 3, was also a Girl Scout troop leader and someone neighbors called wonderful and outgoing. Detectives found her body in the backyard of the couple's home. During testimony, detectives said Pomeroy told them he and his girlfriend had a dispute over money, and that after she pulled a gun on him, he turned it around and unloaded the gun on her, reloaded, and continued shooting. After detective testimony, Judge Megan Thornton found probable cause to charge him with murder and tampering with physical evidence and waive his case to a grand jury. Pomeroy is held behind bars without bond. The judge cited his lengthy criminal history in both Kentucky and Texas as reasoning. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Pomeroy's attorneys entered a not guilty plea for him earlier this week.
One of 5 people charged in a 2014 murder case learned his sentence today. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Rowan County. 21-year-old Jack Abrams pled guilty to murder, robbery, and evidence tampering. He was sentenced to 30 years today. Police say the victim, 20-year-old Bo Otis, was killed during a home invasion in June of 2014. The 4 other people charged are expected in court next month. In Laurel County, a man was arrested after deputies say he was caught trying to steal from cars at a school parking lot. Deputies say 27-year-old Plas Robinson was caught going through an unlocked vehicle in the parking lot of Hunter Hills Elementary School yesterday afternoon. Deputies arrived before he was able to steal anything. Robinson was arrested on a warrant out of Whitley County and charged with criminal mischief.
A recanvass of the votes in Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary have resulted in no change in the election outcome. Election officials across this state checked voting machines today to make sure the results from last week's primary were accurate. Hillary Thornton has details from today's recanvass.
This morning, the Board of Elections in each of Kentucky's 120 counties met to recheck every voting machine. Those totals turned in here to the Secretary of State's office, ultimately showing no change in the totals given last week.
The unofficial winner of Kentucky's Democratic presidential primary remains Hillary Clinton.
The recanvass at the request of Bernie Sanders, who on election night lost to Clinton by less than 2,000 votes. Like all other recanvasses the Secretary of State has handled in her time in office, this one not having an impact on the outcome.
Very pleased to see that those procedures are performing well, and I think it's credit to the training that my staff does across the Commonwealth, not only with our county clerks, but with our precinct election officers. Over 15,000 folks help us actually conduct these elections.
Allison Lundergan Grimes also addressing questions raised about her role as the state's chief election officer, while also being a vocal supporter of Clinton.
When you're elected as Secretary of State, you take that partisanship hat off You come here to work for the people of Kentucky. That's how I've conducted my office, but I don't think it's any secret to the folks all across the state and indeed this nation, the friendship that I share with someone who has literally seen me grow up from being a teenager.
And the State Board of Elections will meet on May 31st to certify those results. In Frankfort, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
And this afternoon, Sanders released a statement saying, "We accept the results in Kentucky. We are very pleased that we split the delegates in a state with a closed primary in which independents cannot vote, and where Secretary Clinton defeated Barack Obama by 35 points in 2008. I thank the people of Kentucky very much for their support."
He has been the presumptive Republican nominee for weeks now, but today Donald Trump officially crossed the delegate number he needed to clinch the GOP nomination. We'll have the latest from the campaign trail in just about 10 minutes.
Kentucky mornings start here. Breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT.
It's Furniture World Superstore's incredible Memorial Day sale. Everyone knows that Memorial Day is the time to buy new furniture, and no sale is bigger than Furniture World's Memorial Day sale. Low holiday prices store-wide, half off furniture for every room, and the lowest price mattresses in Kentucky, plus 2 years interest-free. And you don't have to choose. You get both. People wait for this kind of sale. Well, the waiting is over. This is the one, the Memorial Day sale at all Furniture World Superstore locations.
Here's a fun way to control your luck. It's a game called Keno. You can start with $1. You pick your numbers, your odds, and your wager. And the winnings, well, they could be major. Just pick your numbers and hope you win. A few minutes later, you can play it again. Now play Keno wherever Kentucky lottery games are sold.
There's no one road out there. No one surface. No one way of driving on each and every road. But there is one car that can conquer them all. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class. 5 driving modes let you customize the steering, shift points, and suspension to fit the mood you're in and the road you're on. The 2016 C-Class 4MATIC starting at $40,950. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Lexington, save thousands at the Aegean Hot Tub and Swim Spa Memorial Day Liquidation Expo. This weekend only at the Lexington Center. We've taken delivery of truckloads of factory overstock swim spas, and everything must be sold by Monday. All overstock inventory will be liquidated at up to 60% below retail. Swim and relax year-round in your very own heated swim spa. Free delivery and cover system included. Installs in just 1 day. Plus, trade in that old hot tub and receive free removal and delivery of your new spa. All deals first come, first served. Friday through Monday only at the Lexington Center.
Are you ready? Saturday, May 28th, only in E-Town. It's Barbecue, Blues, and Bikes, brought to you by the Elizabethtown Heritage Council. Kicking off with Thunder into E-Town, benefiting the Elizabethtown Police Foundation. Downtown streets will be buzzing with families, sizzling barbecue, smoking blues, and thousands of bikes. With live music on 2 stages. It's fun for the entire family. Saturday, May 28th, Barbecue, Blues, and Bikes. Couldn't do it without our sponsors. Don't miss it.
Taller grass has fewer weeds and needs less water. Mow better, Lexington. Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Stormy again across central and eastern Kentucky. That no longer qualifies as breaking news, does it? That has basically been our spring in a nutshell. Started out the day with heavy rain and thunderstorms, ending the day with heavy rain and thunderstorms. Busy Defender Radar Network right now. Let's get into it and show you that we actually have that thunderstorm that developed ahead of the main line in Wayne County that we highlighted a moment ago. Now with a severe thunderstorm with it here into parts of western McCreary and Wayne County. Had some penny-sized hail reports coming out of the Monticello area with that. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. That does include Monticello. That'll go until 5:30 as that storm continues to work its way toward the east. Behind that, Lake Cumberland on top of Columbia, Adair County, Russell Springs, Jamestown toward Clinton County, Cumberland County, Monroe County getting in on some of those showers and thunderstorms as well. Farther to the north, Somerset. Thunder is rolling as some storms gather steam across most of Pulaski County. That extends to the north. That's a very intense little storm that has actually popped here just to the west of downtown Berea. So folks from the Lancaster area into downtown Berea. A lot of thunder and lightning. That's going to put down some torrential rains here, southern Garrett County, into that Interstate 75 corridor of Madison County. So Richmond to Berea, watch out. That crosses the river and gets into parts of Fayette County, with heavy rains lurking back to our west as well. Leading edge of this, though, has broken up a little bit compared to what we were seeing an hour plus ago. Carlisle into Bourbon County. But I want to show you what is following that up. So you catch a little bit of a break as soon as that initial line goes by. Then all of a sudden, look at all the heavy rain setting to our west. That's going to continue to roll on toward the east. So it's at least another hour or two of steady rains out there over the next few hours, and that can put down upwards of another half-inch or so of rain. I know several graduations are outdoors tonight, or were slated to be outdoors. Hopefully you've made some alternate plans as of now, looking at that radar picture. Outside of the studios, rains have lightened up just a little bit. Back to the west of us, thunderstorms are continuing to work here, but notice how that line is trying to sink its way toward the south into northern parts of Tennessee. It's going to leave around some boundaries. We said this yesterday, that act as mini cold fronts. Hour by hour forecast through tonight and into tomorrow morning. It's muggy, and in some cases it is foggy with temperatures into the 60s. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to steam it up as we roll into the start of that Memorial Day weekend. Some mid-80s, threat for a thunderstorm at any point tomorrow. You know what that Saturday forecast is. I don't even have to try to surprise you, though I do think Saturday has a better chance for some showers and storms compared to what we will see tomorrow. So I've upped that chance a little bit on Saturday, but overall every day very similar to the day before it. Late next week, we're talking late Wednesday, Thursday, as we roll into June, guys, I see a big change coming with a cold front coming into town. That may introduce a cooler pattern, but we got to get through a lot of steam and storms over the next week.
Sounds like it's going to be an interesting June coming our way.
It is. I think it's going to start cooler after we get through those first few days, but I just don't see us breaking this wet pattern for a while.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic and a couple of issues working right now. Of course, we have slow traffic on Man of War, mainly because of the wet roads, it looks like, between Richmond Road over to Hamburg. About a 10 to 15-minute delay at this moment. Also, a collision on 7th at Magnolia. This has a portion of 7th Street shut down. No one's hurt in that wreck, turns out, but it's a car into a building, so they're trying to clear that mess. And then, of course, a graduation downtown around Rupp, so High Street slowing down, so is South Broadway. Drive times impacted because of the weather. Just checking things to Versailles. Not too bad there. 75 still looks good over to Madison County. Now back to you in the studio.
Don, thank you. More than 3 dozen new officers graduating today as part of the Lexington Police Department's largest graduating class in nearly 20 years.
Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, 6 years after a deadly hit-and-run crash in Rowan County, the victim's son is trying to help bring awareness to other cold cases in the area.
When big news breaks, be the first to know. Download the WKYT News app and turn on push alerts. Breaking news at your fingertips when you need to know what's going on. Push alerts, now available on the WKYT News app.
I'm Hannah Hornback, and this is my family. My dad works hard to grow our popcorn. So does my twin brother Ben. We all do. When you buy Kentucky Proud, you're helping to support farm families like mine. Look for Kentucky Proud popcorn from Preferred Popcorn and other Kentucky Proud products available every day at Kroger.
Bring home Kentucky Proud Preferred Popcorn. It's on sale now, 2 for just $3. And Field or Fisher's hot dogs are 10 for $10 at Kroger.
Welcome to Toyota Time. Tons of awesome vehicles. Great deals for everyone. Thanks. Low APR financing. Woo! Here's your balloon.
Coffee.
Shoulders. Water. I have the best team. Oh, here I come.
For 5 days only, get $500 bonus cash on RAV4 over all other incentives. Get 0% financing up to 72 months on Camry or lease Camry for $189 a month.
Here you go. And here I go.
Toyota, let's go places.
Attention Kentucky, Burke Furniture's semi-annual inventory reduction sale has been held over for a second big week. A sale so great we can afford to slash prices this low only 2 times a year. Up to 75% off name brand furniture. We must sell over $1 million of incredible inventory immediately. Sofas, recliners, bedroom and dining, and a huge selection of mattresses. Plus, get 0% interest for 12 months. Burke Furniture's semi-annual inventory reduction sale on Richmond Road behind Hardee's. Now held over for a second big week.
Looking for the best boat your money can buy? Check out Tracker, Nitro, Sun Tracker, and Tahoe boats. Backed by the best factory warranties in the business. And Tracker is holding the line on pricing. Most 2016 boats are at or below last year's prices. Like the 2016 Tracker Protein 190 TX for $1,100 below the 2014 price. 2016 boats at 2015 prices at the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boating Center in Corbin.
It's here, the 24th annual RV sale at Kentucky Horse Park Campgrounds. Over 100 new and used diesel pushers, motorhomes, van campers, travel trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. They're all here and priced to sell. Travel trailers from $99.99. New motorhomes from $69,999. Everything from diesel pushers to van campers, fifth wheels to sport utility trailers to haul your toys. This once-a-year event has something for everybody. Special financing rates, factory rebates, factory representatives. Great deals from May 20th to June 5th. Kentucky Horse Park Campground, exit 120 off I-75. Follow the signs. Sponsored by Northside RVs.
When severe storms roll in, we go to work to keep you and your family safe with continuous coverage on air, on WKYT.com, and wherever you are with our news and weather apps. First Alert Severe Weather Days, only on WKYT.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
It's now official for Donald Trump. CBS News estimating he has 1,238 delegates, enough to clinch the Republican nomination for president.
CBS News correspondent Danielle Nottingham reports now from Ventura, California.
Donald Trump was ready to celebrate his big day.
There was a big news flash that Donald Trump had won the nomination.
CBS News estimates that Trump has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican nomination for president.
If you look at what's happened, tremendous support from all over the country. Senators, congressmen, we have governors all over the place.
Delegates from North Dakota helped put Trump over the top.
I asked them, how many delegates do you have? And they said they were sitting at 1,235. And I said, let me let you talk to 1,236.
For the Democratic candidates running for president, this was another day on the campaign trail. Bernie Sanders has several events in California, including one here in Ventura. Supporters of Sanders remain optimistic despite Hillary Clinton's big lead in delegates.
If there's still a sliver of hope, if there's still any possible mathematical equation, I still think there's a chance.
Why?
Why? I think, look at all the supporters here.
Hillary Clinton. Clinton is campaigning in Nevada and California. She criticized Trump numerous times during a speech in Las Vegas.
Donald Trump is an urgent threat to our rights and to our country.
The Democrats will next go head-to-head in Puerto Rico in early June. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Ventura, California.
Trump needed 1,237 delegates to clinch the nomination.
More than 36 cadets became Lexington police officers today. It's the department's largest graduating class since 1998. The 40 new officers graduated from the Lexington Police Training Academy. The ceremony was held at the Academy on BCTC's Newtown campus. Mayor Jim Gray, Public Safety Commissioner Ronnie Baston, and Chief Mark Barnard spoke during today's ceremony.
Today, on behalf of all the citizens of Lexington and everyone here and your families, we congratulate you. Thank you for providing a service to our community, and best wishes. And thank you very much.
This year's graduating class has participated in several community events, including a cleanup at Duncan Park, Shop with a Cop, and the Polar Plunge. Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, the Kentucky State Police holding a memorial today in honor of those who they have lost.
Researchers say they may have found a new cause for Alzheimer's and some diet tips for those suffering from psoriasis. That's coming up in Better Living.
Get WKYT News and weather updates on 104.5 The Cat.
Welcome to Toyota Time. Tons of awesome vehicles. Great deals for everyone. Thanks. Low APR financing.
Woo!
Here's your balloon.
Coffee.
Shoulders. Water. I have the best team. Oh, here I come.
For 5 days only, get $500 bonus cash on RAV4 over all other incentives. Get 0% financing up to 72 months on Camry or lease Camry for $189 a month.
Here you go. And here I go.
Toyota, let's go places.
A season pass to Kentucky Kingdom is only $59.95. And with benefits like free parking and dollar drinks, a season pass pays for itself in just one visit. And enjoy the rest of the summer for free. Stop by your local Kroger store to get yours today. But hurry, offer ends soon.
Fire up the grill this week with fresh Purdue boneless chicken breasts for just $1.99 a pound. And whole seedless watermelons are $3.99 each at Kroger.
This is the Mom Biz, and ladies, it's showtime. You've got soccer practice, swim meets, drum lessons, play dates, and all the other stuff that keeps your family humming. But you know what matters? The healthy stuff, full tummies. That's why you've got Lando Frost Premium Lunch Meat, a simple, protein-packed, good-for-'em lunch. And that's how you get a mom groove. Groove with me now. Hey, Lando Frost, they're a family brand. You're a family. See what I'm getting at?
Welcome to Toyota. When you're riding through the plant, you'll get a chance to see the robots and you'll get a chance to see how everything kind of ties together. It's really like a symphony between people and machines. But when you look into the face of our team members, I think you'll see people that genuinely love what they do. They genuinely love their product. And I believe that translates into the phenomenal products that we make for each one of you as our customers.
Plan your free tour today at visittoyotaky.com.
Want to save energy and money? By replacing an older refrigerator or freezer, you can save hundreds of dollars on your energy costs. And we'll pick up and recycle the old one for free. Turn that old appliance into cash. To schedule your pickup, call today. A message from Kentucky's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives.
It's Furniture World Superstore's incredible Memorial Day sale. Everyone knows that Memorial Day is the time to buy new furniture, and no sale is bigger than Furniture World's Memorial Day sale. Low holiday prices store-wide, half-off furniture for every room, and the lowest priced mattresses in Kentucky, plus 2 years interest-free. And you don't have to choose. You get both. People wait for this kind of sale. Well, the waiting is over. This is the one, the Memorial Day sale at all Furniture World Superstore locations.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. People with psoriasis have to make so many adjustments in how they live, including how they eat. Here's some diet tips from experts for those who have it.
Psoriasis. It's frustrating to sufferers and medical researchers alike. Sufferers have skin cells that multiply much more rapidly than normal and cause red plaques covered in white scales. According to the National Psoriasis Foundation, about 2 to 3% of the population suffers from the skin disease. Registered dietitians say a better diet can help with the condition. Here's the foods they say psoriasis patients should avoid. Highly processed foods. Foods with high amounts of sugar, especially added sugars. Foods with heavy amounts of processed fats. For dietitians, if you're taking away foods from someone's diet for psoriasis, make sure you're putting whole quality foods in its place. For example, if you're cutting back or eliminating dairy from your diet, replace it with calcium-rich, non-processed foods like almonds or green veggies. By following tips like this, dietitians think life could be a little easier for those who have psoriasis. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Alzheimer's disease may be the result of a byproduct that builds up in the brain when it fights infections. Researchers believe that a protein that plays a significant role in causing Alzheimer's by building up plaque in the brain. But new research suggests that buildup may happen as a protective measure when the brain is trying to fight off infections. And the disease may be caused when the infection causes too much buildup. If the research is confirmed, it would change the way scientists develop drugs to fight that disease. Even after a skin cancer diagnosis, it appears many patients fail to take basic precautions to protect from the sun's harmful rays. Researchers say a previous bout of skin cancer isn't tied to a lower risk of sunburns, although skin cancer patients were more than twice as likely to wear sunscreen, hats, and long sleeves. Experts say it's critical for physicians to counsel skin cancer patients on proper sun protection because it's the only risk that can be controlled. Do you suffer from low battery anxiety? Electronics company LG says nearly 9 out of 10 people suffer from the fear of losing power on their phone. According to a recent survey of smartphone users, 1 in 3 people would choose charging their phone over hitting the gym. Among millennials, that number is even higher, with 42% saying they would choose to charge their phone. Now, here's what's coming up for you at 5:30.